So any problem from up to this? Inheritance will read little after. Listen. So let me explain you. If you have any doubt, you can say. We started from data abstraction. So data abstraction. These are the some OOP principles, OOP features. Okay. So OOP features are data abstraction, data hiding, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. These are the features inside the object-oriented programming language. Okay. So first one is the data abstraction. Data abstraction, you knew that it is that you are only this simplifying the real world concept into its essential elements. You are not going deep into it. You are knowing only the essential things. You want to play games. Suppose you want to play computer games. So the instructions you need to know the instructions of playing the games. Okay. So the instruction is only shown to you. That is the abstraction. But many things, the programs are done, how it is inside, how the computer games is working, all these are happening inside, they are hidden to you. Okay. So only few things is known to you, few things is displayed to you or revealed to you. So that is called the data abstraction. Here it is giving or the car example it is giving. So car example, you have to know only how to drive the car. You don't need to know the driver doesn't need to know the internal details of a car. Okay. So this is an example here. Another example is given switchboard. You need to know that if you make it on, then it will blow. Otherwise, if it is, you will make it off, it will be off. That much. That much only normal person knows. Okay. So this is the abstraction. But many things are inside. Nobody means normal layman should not know. Clear? This is an abstraction. So the opposite is the data hiding. So when you are doing abstraction, when you are letting that some things should be known, then you are letting that some things should not be known. You are hiding some things. So that is called the data hiding. Right? So like we have discussed in case of computer games playing, I discussed that some things, some inside parts, some members are there, some functions are there, so they have certain values. We have already discussed about the state, yes or no, attributes and state of objects. So many things are working in a computer game, but we don't know, we don't need to know it. So that is data hiding coming, right? Then we have discussed the switchboard. Okay, internal details, we are hiding it from the user, right? Next one is encapsulation. Encapsulation means it is encapsulation. Using the encapsulation, we are actually do data hiding. In the encapsulation means wrapping the data. Wrapping means putting the data inside a wrapper. You can say here our wrapper is the class. Okay, on our program the wrapper is the class. Okay, it's a capsule. Under it you have the data and the related methods. Data, or you can say attributes and related behavior. Okay, attributes and related behavior. So, and encapsulation also, it is not that only their names, these are the attributes, these are the behavior. No, it deals with also the implementation. Implementation means total details. Who will be hidden, who will be known to, who will be public, okay, who will be hidden or who will be private, okay. All these details are also going under the encapsulation. Okay, so it is giving one example of company, that you are not getting the information of a particular department directly. You are not getting the information of a particular department. You have to get the information through a person of that department. Yes or no? Yeah? So that means data is hidden. Some part of the data are hidden, and some of the, like company name. Okay, company name is the public. Everybody can see. The board is there. Okay. Huh? Yes. Company. Okay. Some parts, some are hidden, some are public. Website, company website is the public. Okay. That is, so here also abstraction, right? But some part is hidden, so that is the data hiding. Okay. Here in this side you are seeing how the objects are related to each other. Okay. Okay, next is and another concept you learn now, that is ADT, abstract data type. So when you do a class, when you create a class, actually you are creating a data type. You are creating a data type. Okay, you are okay. So like int is a data type. Int, because when I write int, okay, int a, that means a is a variable, but int is a data type. So int decides what value a can store. Int is the decider, okay, because if I change it to character, it is another decider, okay. I can use the same variable a, so it is another decider what value this can store, okay. Character. Int decides that number can be stored, positive and negative numbers. Yes or no? So they are called the what? They are called data types. Data types. Similarly, when you are creating a class, suppose you are creating a class, you are also creating a data type. So class, suppose you are writing student, okay, and so you are creating a data. So that means in some other place in some other place, okay, some other place in the main method, you can use this data type. What is this data type? Stored data type you can create, you can use. RV is the variable name. I gave RV because RV stands for reference variables. I think you have read up to this much. This is a class. Say like int is something. Now it is used as a data type. It's data type, and it's the variable. Okay. So this is abstract data type. So when you are creating a class, actually you are creating a abstract data type. Please write down this.